Hello and welcome to Chatting with C. I am your host, C. Miss C, what's up? Hope you are having a great day. As usual, I am excited to be here. I am feeling very motivated today. I'm feeling very much. Um, I don't know. I feel really good. I will say that, right? Sometimes it's just not this huge word that you need to come up with. I feel really good. And I feel really awesome in the space that I'm in and the things that are happening, the growth that is happening, the changes. And so I'm feeling really good. I'm feeling very, very motivated to continue doing what I'm doing and to keep pushing forward. So that's where we're at today. I wanted to do a video and I am hoping it's not going to be too long. I'm hoping like 10 minutes I can get it in. Um, but I did a video a few videos back and it was on awareness. And I was telling you about your car. And if your car breaks down, like you become aware that there's an issue or something that you can be improving upon. And that in that, in order for us to make changes, we have to be aware. And that's a huge part, right? Like that's the first key is you have to be aware that there's an area that can be improved upon. You have to be aware of stuff that's going well so that you can continue to do that and grow. But another big piece that I think is important that we talk about, and I'm been working on this piece actually, and something happened in the media that made me put it all together. So I'm going to do the video, okay? Accountability. Accountability. Accountability is the piece that is either going to propel you towards your goals in life or it's going to keep you where you are at. Okay? Like there's no way around it. You have to have accountability and in all areas. And self-accountability is the way in which you're living, that you take responsibility for your actions and your life, you learn from your mistakes, and quickly recover from any impulse to blame others, ignore problems, or hiding your shortcomings. I think a lot of times we become aware of something, but then we do not actually take the accountability that we need to in order to get to the next step in life. And it's a big piece that has to happen. You have to start taking accountability for your life, for your choices, for your decisions, for the role that you have played in things. Even though you wish you could do it better, that is accountability, okay? Saying like, I could have done that better. You have to be able to do that in order to grow and to move forward. I say that because okay, so I don't do like a lot. I do social media and I don't really comment a lot on the celebrity stuff that's going on because I don't know everything that's going on. I like to have all the facts, all the sides of everything before I make a decision. However, on the surface, and I will say this first, on the surface, outside looking in, on the surface, from what I can see, which is all we can base it off of, the Black China and Kardashians Jenner situation that's going on, and or that was going on, the lawsuit and all of that kind of stuff. And so it ended, and they were, the ruling came down that they were not liable, and so it was thrown out. Whatever, they don't owe her any damages. Okay. And then I seen today that her mom has done a GoFundMe for the legal fees for China to appeal the decision. Okay, great. That's what you want to do? Awesome. I'm with it. However, what I'm missing or what I haven't heard in this whole situation from Black China is any form of accountability. I have not heard her actually be accountable for the choices that she's made, the decisions that she's made, the role that she played that led up to this family deciding not to continue that show with her or doing any business in that sense with her. To find out or to hear that she was putting guns to Rob's head as a joke, And then coming back and saying, well, they took the show for me and they cost me money, doesn't quite add up, right? Like, of course they did. That's not a joke to people. That's not a joke. It's not funny. You know, people's families get involved in stuff like that, right? The Kardashians love to make some money. So for them to say, we don't want the money, your actions are doing something, are causing a reaction that is being detrimental to you, right? But I haven't heard her take any accountability. Even when the case was going on and, you know, they addressed the gun thing situation, she said, you know, it was a joke. Accountability is being able to say, you know, I was joking. However, looking back, that wasn't the best decision for me to do. You know, I can understand being able to see how people, why that action in itself would make someone decide, we don't want to do business with you. We don't want to be around you. We don't want our kids around you because of that's your comedy. That's comedy to you. That's not comedy to us, right? I don't hear her actually taking any accountability for her role, how she's handled it coming up throughout the whole thing, how the people around her are handling it. I don't feel like she's going to be able to get to the next step that she wants to be able to get to without sitting down and taking some accountability, without really reflecting on the choices that she's made. Even though they weren't the great, and even though she was operating in the space that she was, in order to propel to the next level, you have to be willing to be honest with yourself and actually accept and take responsibility for the fact that I wasn't being my best self in that situation at that time in life, and it cost me big, and I'm still paying for it, right? Being able to take accountability can change the outcome of things. At this point, I'm like, it would almost be better for her to sit down and try to have a relation, like try to just, you know, fix this kind of deal. But it can't be fixed if there's no accountability. It can't be fixed if you decide that you don't want to take any responsibility for what you've done or how you've moved in a space. And it's okay that you were moving in that space at that time, working with what you had, the resources, the tools. However, the difference is that if she could take the time to be accountable, if we took the time to be accountable and really got in tune with that and reflected and decided, you know what, those weren't the best choices. I possibly owe people an apology. You know, I need to say that, you know, to yourself. You don't have to say it to anybody else necessarily, but that you're really actually taking responsibility and understanding the dynamics of your choices and how the consequences or how the outcome is what it is now based on that. I think you're able to mend situations. You're able to really move forward, right? Because you're saying that I'm doing the work, and I understand that wasn't the best decision. And it takes actually being able to look around your group of people. Who do you have around you as well? Are they being accountable? Are you holding them accountable? Are they adding to the mess and the distress that's going on? I mean, all of that plays a factor, right? Like, you have to be accountable for the people that you bring around and that you bring into a situation and how they respond. You're not accountable for their actions, but you bringing them in. Hey, that probably wasn't a good idea for me to bring so-and-so to your house, because that went totally left and everything, you know, that's on me. I'm accountable for that. That I take accountability for that. Now, I'm not accountable for the person's actual actions that they did, but the part that I played was I brought them in. And bringing them in has now created this set of whirlwind that's going on. You have to be accountable for those things. And in order to really, really, really grow, that's a piece that's necessary that I think people try to skip over quite a bit. And you cannot skip the accountability piece. You cannot skip the accountability piece. It's the factor that's going to help you grow. You cannot grow without being accountable and holding yourself accountable for the choices you make, for the decisions that you're making, for the way that you're moving and handling things. You have got to take a minute to think and be able to say, hey, the way that I see myself, the things that I want, is my actions, is how I'm responding, is what I'm showing, aligning with that. And if it's not, it's up to you to decide to do something different. right? And I just use that example because it's such a big one right now that's in the media, and it just made me think that I really want the best for her. I really would like to see her really take some of the tools that she has been given. I mean, she literally had a relationship and was in the inn with the Kardashian family. And so she's got to see how they work business, how they come up with ideas, their creative side, what they think of when they're trying to do stuff, what pieces of the puzzle are important when you're trying to get, deals and stuff. She got to see that. And those are things that are going to be able to help her later in life if she starts doing the internal work and stop blaming everybody else for what has happened. I think she's a smart girl. She's very cute. She's definitely got some talents and some gifts in there. We all do. And so it's time for her to stop focusing on what everybody else has done or not done and start looking at herself and focusing on what she has and has not done, and start taking accountability and responsibility for her own life and the outcomes that she's wanting to get to. And that we all have to do. We all have to be accountable for the things that we've done. I have to be accountable for how I respond to somebody in the now. I'm accountable for that. And in order for me to continue to grow, I sometimes have to take a minute and step back and say, okay, how I respond right now, how I deal with this, what I post, what I say, is this going to go against who I'm trying to be? Is this going to create something different? And sometimes we react quickly and it goes left. Okay, I'm accountable for that, right? Dang, I could have handled that differently. Next time I'll take a minute to stop and think about it. Next time I'll do this. That really didn't align with how I see myself. Ooh, I did do that, and that's probably why that person thinks that, or why they feel that way towards me. Okay, that's something to think about. In those opportunities, you're able to challenge yourself and to grow yourself. And so we cannot skip the accountability piece at all. It is what is going to propel you into that future self you see, or it's going to be the thing that actually keeps you back, because the blame game is in full effect. The blaming of everybody else, the blaming of circumstances, the blaming of no money, the blaming of where you live, the blaming of how you grew up, the blaming of those people, the blaming of society, the blaming of the government, the blaming of the grocery store, the blaming of everything else, as opposed to what is it that you can be doing and what is it that you are doing to make your situation better. What role are you playing? Because we all play a role. And depending on the role that you decide to play in situations, it's going to determine how that situation unfolds, whether it's favorable or it's not. It goes against you. So I just wanted to put that out there today because I was thinking about it, and it is a follow-up to the awareness video. The accountability piece is so important. I did use that example. No shade or anything to the Kardashians, to Black China. I really wish her the best. But I do feel like I just haven't heard her really take any accountability for how all of this has played out. And she plays a big part. She is the biggest piece in why things are not working the way that she wants them to. And oftentimes we are as well. We are the piece. We are the piece of the puzzle that's going to make the difference. And that accountability is a tool, and use it as a tool, because that's what it is. It's a tool to help you get to the next level. Okay, so I hope that you take that with you today, as it was just on my mind to do it. I have pages of stuff I have written down, and then all of a sudden it came to me, and so we just did it. So there it is. I will leave you with this quote. At the end of the day, we are accountable to ourselves. Our success is a result of what we do. And that is Catherine Pulsifer. So accountability, we can't skip it. That's a key piece. So have a great and awesome day and a great and awesome week.